today, Simon. He looks a lot more relaxed than what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, he was clearly quite tired yesterday, and he's more chilled out today. And the games have been really exciting, and we've got a French defence as well now, so another interesting opening. And I remember Magnus actually saying that if he needed to win with the black pieces against e4, then he'd probably play the French defence. This was in the last year or so. It was an opening that hasn't been completely worked out, and often goes to a dynamic position. So, yeah.
But wait 1 second. Doesn't White have like the French killer in the midst? You can exchange pawns in the middle. Do it.
I don't think he will. I think he's having too much fun to do it. I think if he wants to win the match, he could, but I think he won't do it. He won't do it. He won't do it.
We're all talking about the pawn takes pawn variation.
Yeah, exactly.
The groan variation. So it's like, no, I told you. The thing is, he's really enjoying himself today, and he's actually playing like really sharp positions, and maybe it goes back to that interview. He's not necessarily even trying to play the best openings. He's playing just openings which are going to lead to fun games, which is great for us.
Yeah, I think he was just fighting his inner conscience there, Magnus.
Yeah.
I think he was very tempted to play the exchange variation, just trading off pawns, going symmetrical, going for the draw. But he's aware of the fans. Magnus is very aware of what people want to see, but also he loves entertaining himself, loves chess. He did it yesterday against Fabiano. He didn't shut down the game immediately, and okay, that led to some drama, but yeah, this one, I'm glad to see it. Mainline classical variation of the French right now. Cool win.
No, we did. We then caught up and we had to kind of go, very, very good, David. Actually, it was a really good game.
Thank you.
Recommend following it.
It was, tailored against the opponent for the situation, and sometimes the exchange variation isn't always played with a draw in mind. But Magnus, he's gone for something much more ambitious here. He's got extra space. Look at White's pawn structure in the center. You have that kind of trio, that triangle of pawns on the dark squares, and Firouzja, I haven't really seen him employ this variation too much, whereas Magnus, I've seen him on both the white and black side of this position, so maybe slightly more experience here.
Will this be the third time that we'll see a queenside castling?
Morozevich versus Shirov, I think, in this position, and it's actually a big blunder because black can now play c4 and change the nature of position, and you've got the b pawn ready to run down the board, and basically the attack here is just ready-made. You're going to go b4, c3, checkmate, and it's really, really hard to have any. So you can't castle in this position, so you've got to be quite subtle about it. And I expect the main line now, is to castle kingside, because all these ideas are castling queenside. It gives black loads of compensation. So bishop d3 is one of the more modern approaches.
bishop a3, but he took quite a bit of time before making this decision. So Magnus Carlsen can go safe with queen e1. Are there any other attacking ideas? And he does it. David knows Magnus.
They do well. And the queens are off the board. No checkmates, at least not for now. But white still with this extra pawn, the 2-pawn combo in the center. I thought it was 2 pawns up. I forgot black captured on h4 a bit earlier. But now this kind of massive pieces that we see in the center, this tension. Unfortunately for Firouzja, it's hard to deal with. White's pieces just coordinate so well with their pawns, and okay, just rook to b8 looks like a pseudo-active move, trying to maybe come into the white position with that rook later on the open file. How can Magnus start to unravel here? Still some work to be done.
Is there a knight g7?
I was going to suggest that one.
Maybe, yeah.
I see material, I grab material.
Yeah, we love grabbing. I mean, there's tempting moves there as well, isn't there? I mean, yeah, it's a pawn grab, isn't it, that one? So, and quite a simple little tactic there, really. I mean, one of the only problems was that pin was a little bit annoying on the knight, so you don't just win a pawn, but you actually get out of the trouble with the pin. You give yourself the f6 square for the other knight, it also, yeah, just opens up the black king in general, as well as winning a pawn. So that looks like a pretty juicy way of doing it, actually.
On the board.
Yeah.
2 pawns up now for Magnus Carlsen. I think this one was missed by Firouzja. Unfortunately, but again, it's just tactics working in white's favor because he has the better coordination, the better centralization. And this could spell the end.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Oh, 6. He needs to make a movie. 4 seconds. 2.
Gotta move.
Whoa.
1 second.
Okay, he takes the knight.
He takes it with... Wait, how much time did he have on the clock? Because it's a 3
1
second
second.
increment. Barely any time.
Oh, wow.
So Magnus is just saying, okay, I'm gonna just have the draw in hand in case I need it, right? Is that, that's actually a really safety first idea from Magnus. I mean, he played this really quickly, but I mean, because
It's enough.
It's enough. He only a draw is the same as a win, right? So, but I mean, okay, he's lost a lot of his advantage, Magnus, from doing this.
And black does have the a pawn. I mean, Firouzja is gonna play this out. It isn't.
Oh, not now, but the king
Might
is
be
moving
checkmate.
into a mating net. It's going to get caged.
E4 or
G4 maybe.
G4?
And now he has to go h5.
The problem is if he went the other way, I think it's at least a perpetual check, right, for white. So you have to, in a must-win situation, try this way.
1 second for Firouzja again. He made it under 1 second.
To stop the check.
Only way to stop the perpetual.
Now
Again,
it's
this is
Rook h5 was a checkmate.
Now the e-pawn is running through. Black's rook is too far offside, and Firouzja leans back.
Yeah.
In disappointment, he's going to resign.